I've lost my mind doing this game, yeah? Like Vincent van Gogh. He dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me. And that gold belt is around my waist. My mother has a big mansion. My girlfriend has a different car for every day of the week. And my kids have everything they ever want. Then it will pay. And I'm happy I lost my mind. Yeah? I'll die a crazy old man.
I heard a quote one time from Vincent van Gogh that really rang true. He said, he has dedicated his life to his art and he has lost his mind in the process. When I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar. I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way, to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m. They would look at me and say, I've lost my mind, but me, I have found it almost.
To get to the pinnacle, it needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it. I don't need friends that aren't involved in this game or that aren't on the same path, you know what I mean? Because it's just not, it doesn't make sense. And that is the demon that I need to conquer, you know what I mean? Because I have friends outside of the sport, and you know, I can get into trouble and go out and
I feel to be at the pinnacle of any game, in any, whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday, there was rugby, there was this, there was that. And like normal society is like, let's talk about this and let's engage in this, and I can't do it. I just don't, people are talking to me, and in my head, I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number, or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat, or on the feet. That's my life, sequences and numbers, nothing else. I cannot pay attention to nothing else.
All the stars are here, look.
oh no way, what's it called, the Walk of Fame?
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Hollywood Walk of Fame, nice. I couldn't give a fuck about the Hollywood Walk of Fame, yeah, how about that? I'm not looking to get my name on no Hollywood Walk of Fame,
right,
you know what I mean?
I hear that,
I'm looking to get that belt. Well, to be honest, I'm not even looking at getting that belt, because in my mind I already have the belt. The belt is already mine. I carry myself like I have the belt.
Conor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car, you didn't have a pot to piss in, all you had were blueberries. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it, you called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything. So that's where I am right now.
Word for word, you said, I felt when we stared down, I felt his right hand was twitching, which was a subtle tell for me. He is ready to unload that right hand, and I feel that could be a downfall for him. If he lets that right hand go, I will not be there. I simply enter the way I enter, and that is enough. They either overextend or they shrink away, but either way it is not good for them. I will create traps and dead space inside that octagon, and I will walk him into that dead space, but all of a sudden he will be in danger. How do you do that? How do you predict these
if you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. You truly believe in it. If you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
Even no matter what was going on in my life and getting involved with the wrong crowd and all, I always, no matter what was going on, some deep situations, I always had the belief that I was going to get here. I was going to get to the UFC. I was going to get, because I just knew I was different. I know I'm different than these people. So that's why I like to be isolated, and that's why this has helped me coming out here and being locked in an apartment on my own. building back up my leg, going from rehab to home to rehab to home, because there was no outsiders. It was isolation, it was visualization, it was motivation, and it was dedication. There was nothing else going on in my life, you know what I mean? Emotions is not good to have in the fight game. In anything really, you know, you need to be emotional. You cannot carry emotions in things, so that was where I was at. And then just hours upon hours and realizing that on the mat and in the ring or in the cage or wherever, just realizing that having emotions, because in training you're gonna have emotions, like maybe it might not be your day and you start over exerting energy on things, and it just never helps. So just over the years I've just learned to just be empty. Basically, just be empty in there, empty of thought, empty of emotion, empty of anything.
That's why I'm saying I don't feel pressure on fight night. I don't feel pressure when I make that walk. Someone asked me what it's like when I make that walk, what it's like when you walk out into that arena, and I swear on my life, when I walk out to that arena, I honestly feel like I'm unshackling chains off of me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm chained and I'm carrying a cross or something. And then when I get to that octagon, I'm peeling it all off. And when I finally step foot in that octagon and place my bare feet on that special UFC canvas, I feel free. Now what I am doing this for is finally here.
I wanted to read you a quote from 2013 that you said, "I've lost my mind on this game, like Vincent van Gogh, dedicated his life to his art, and he lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me, but fuck it. When that gold belt is around my waist, and my mother has a big mansion, my girlfriend has a car for every day of the week, and my kids' get everything they ever wanted, then it will pay. Then I'll be happy I lost my mind." Can you just reflect and talk to me about how that makes you feel hearing that in 2021?
You know, yeah, it's been some rides. I've got it done, and I'm up here, mad as a brush. You know what I mean? I've been through it all, my friends. You know, I appreciate that, and it's been a wild ride for me. It's not been easy at times, but you know, what a life.